There's a fire inside each of us, and it can break you or it can move you forward. You can try to hide it, or you can let it breathe. I chose to let it breathe. The fire that shaped me is the same fire that now shapes the future of Yoni. I was born in the Netherlands and grew up in an environment filled with fear. For years it was about getting through the day and hoping tomorrow will be different. One day the police took me from my home and brought me to a safe house. That place stayed with me. It was filled with women from different backgrounds, women who escaped violence, war, and situations no one knew how to talk about. Their strength influenced me, but so did the failures of the system that was supposed to protect them. There was little guidance, little support, and no path back to a life that felt safe. That is where I learned how deeply a woman's health is shaped by trauma, stress, and instability. But I kept going. After high school, I tried different fields until I realized business was my direction. I finished international business in the Netherlands, then moved to New York for an internship for a private equity firm. I pushed until they offered me a job as head of operations within 6 months. Later, I moved to Budapest during the pandemic, and it became my home. Working in private equity, I needed to learn fast, but I also knew what leadership should not look like. The environment was full of masculine energy, pressure, and toxicity. I learned how not to lead. Too much ego and not enough humanity. So during lockdown, while I worked full-time, the idea for Yoni came to me and it felt clear. My experience in scaling companies, running international teams, and my lived experience of what women go through could finally meet in one place. I asked myself one simple question. Why do women have to guess what is happening inside their bodies? Women deserve knowledge about their vaginal health and fertility that they can access every day, not only when they manage to get an appointment. So women deserve clarity, they deserve safety, they deserve to be taken seriously, they deserve to be seen, heard, and understood, and this was the moment Yoni started. And when something is your purpose, it does not feel optional. It feels like a responsibility, like a purpose. When I entered a new market, I had no network in healthcare. But I knew how to build relationships, and I knew how to fight for something that matters. So I researched, I read studies, I learned about the importance of vaginal pH and basal body temperature. I stood in rooms full of men who did not take me seriously or thought I was crazy. I reached out to companies and experts who at first had no reason to take me seriously. Some thought this idea was unrealistic, others understood it immediately. I learned by doing, and that is how I have always moved forward. The truth is simple. I carried the fire long before I understood its purpose. Because I learned to get comfortable by being uncomfortable. Because discomfort is where growth happens. And I learned that rejection can guide you rather than to stop you. Every rejection is a redirection. So my story is not something I hide in this mission. It helps me understand the problem in a way that cannot be learned from the books. My lived experience taught me long before science did. I know how it feels when your voice is ignored, when your pain is dismissed, when your body tries to tell you something and no one listens. That is why Yoni exists. Not to follow what already exists, not to impress anyone, but to change what should never have been this way.